Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Wrong Ones Podcast. I'm Dinesh Sagi, joined by Amar and Punk. Gents, how are we on
Hello,
this Sunday evening?
hello, and not too bad, not too bad. An
Yeah,
eventful day, so good.
I bet. And I see Pankaj. I'm
Yeah,
struggling to figure out his expression today. Is he happy? Is he sad? Or is it like in a mix of emotions
it's
today? I mean,
He's
SRH
never sad.
won,
He's first
CSK
both the
won.
because he
both the team, yeah.
Yeah, both
Whoever
the team.
predicted all won.
He predicted like spot on.
Yeah.
I mean, initially he picked MI, but then I saw it why MI? He changed his mind. So but
Uh,
yes, IPL 2025 season 18 got off to a flying start, at least on day two. First
yeah.
game between SRH and RR. Like we said, based off of what happened last season, and we were expecting a lot of fireworks in Hyderabad, and exactly what happened. Sunrisers batted first today, 286 of their 20 overs. Abhishek Sharma with 24, Travis Head. For all the Indian fans, as much as we appreciate how good he is, 67 of 31 deliveries, 9 fours and 3 sixes. And then the debutant for SRH, Ishan Kishan, 106 of 47 deliveries, 11 fours, 6 sixes. Contributions from NKR, 30 from 15 deliveries, a strike rate of 200. Henrik Larsson, 34 of 14, strike rate of 240. Aniket Verma, 7 of 3 deliveries, strike rate of 233. No one on the top six who batted actually scored at a strike rate less than 200. That sort of sums up the score, right?
yeah, but I think they're still 20 to 30 runs short.
Yeah, I
By that,
agree. I
the
think,
way they were going, I thought they would be somewhere around 300, 310.
Uh, well, I was like, they actually 20 runs over par, or 20, 30 runs over par, because it's very bad fielding for Rajasthan Royals. Like
Bad fielding and
crazy.
also a
They
couple
should
of
have, they should have, they
lucky.
shouldn't have crossed to 40 based on how they were batting, right? The fielding was like pathetic.
yeah, I agree. I
I
think that's.
see the other side.
Do you think that's to do with nerves? Obviously, Rian Parag,
Yes.
is his first game as a skipper, and then obviously quite a young team. They're not familiar with each other, right? Obviously, when you start off in a new team, all of a sudden, as much as you train together and everything else, game time, it's different. There's a few nerves because someone like Jaiswal let go a couple of deliveries,
Yeah.
in square, so not very
And like
unusual.
the balls were just going through the legs, man. Come on. At least like I can say around 30 odd runs, went through the legs. Or like,
And also,
easy catches. They missed some catches
the
and
couple of catches they just they dropped in the no man's area, and one was like Travis Head catch that was right next to him, but neither the
yes.
bowler nor the wicket keeper could reach it. So, and yeah, like couple of blunders, like one of them was Jofra Archer's. I don't know what happened. He just missed it or decided to leave it. Not sure, but as Punk mentioned, yeah, really bad fielding, but I'm just disappointed that they didn't get to 300.
Also, I feel like Jofra Archer still is carrying some injury, right? Apart from the 5T20, right? So Archer had like an action which, he used to snap ball, so you didn't knew the ball is going to be a bouncer or is going to come on length, that was his at that speed, so that is missing. So maybe after his injury, right, like the 5T20s we've seen, and we've seen this as well, I see that there's a slight change in action. He's not able to snap that ball, which at the same, he could actually bounce the ball from the same action, and he could also send the ball straight, so that is and without any effort, Archer had that, and this is something in this match I saw that, like, he's missing. So they might have to see how they're going to, if they're going to play Archer, right, if he's missing that snap in his this thing. But yeah, well, and see, the thing is, you have to give like the wrong decision to field first, especially on a hot day in Hyderabad, and like it was a day match. If it was like say an evening match, right? So then you always expect, there might be some dew, or you'll get an opportunity. Then it'll be easier for them to bat. But in a day match, it's always good to bat first, and let the opponent team bat second, because the pitch will wear out and you'll have a slight grip for slow ball, yeah, and also for the spinners. So tactical mistake by Dravid and the entire team by letting SRH bat, right. If say these guys would have batted first, RR, and they would have got, like, say, I'm not expecting 240, but even 230, it would have been hands-on game, with SRH, because the pressure goes on the other side here. So then you are actually looking to hit two sixes each over.
Mhm.
Uh, you can have Then you can have the slow baller, because they know that the batsmen are going to go for each and every ball, right?
Yeah.
Then you can do the slower balls, and like you can have a tactical set field. Okay, this ball I'm not going to give a ball which will go for six. Let them go for a four. So then
Mhm.
you do that offside field. So there's less chances, uh, to control the innings when you're like, if the score is 230 to 235, right? But yeah, it was a brilliant game.
Mhm.
Tactical error from RR completely. Uh, in all departments, fielding was really pathetic, man. That was like one of the worst fielding I've ever seen.
Well, let me ask, right?
One innings.
Like, when we reviewed the squad, right, we said RR are little light on the bowling side of
Yeah,
things.
that,
And do you think that
absolutely.
was the reason why they chose to bowl first, so that whatever target it is, they have the batsman to chase it? But obviously, they didn't expect it to be 280. That could be a reason
That
why.
that 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 could be one of the reasons, right? But
Yeah.
on a flat deck, yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
If you can, because we knew that the batting is the strength department, right? So
Yeah.
if you ask any captain, if my strength, I will go with my strength. I will not try to cover my weakness. I'll go with my strength. And what SRH has, like, the strength is batting, right? They will love to bat.
Hmm.
And you see last season, right? And I don't know what captains are saying. SRH struggled when they were chasing. The last
Hmm.
few games while they were chasing, always two or three games. So like, stupidity, or I don't know what they're looking at. That the weakness for SRH is chasing, right? Even they couldn't chase 180 with that batting lineup last year, right? So what I'm trying to say is, like, if your strength is batting, go like what SRH does. If you got good batsmen, go out, guns all, go for 240, 250, and there will be errors, because even on a full toss ball, you'll get wickets, because the batsman is like continuously, they are preempting that every shot I have to hit, because I have to score that 12 runs per over or 13 runs per over, which happened on the other side as well, right? But they were always behind the game. Then this is a one-sided game altogether, yeah.
Yeah.
So they scored 240, but it was just a one-sided game. That's it.
Before we go into individual players, just a couple of things I want to make an announcement. Right, on this podcast, we refrain from using the word stupid or stupidity. The patent is with Sunny G, so we don't want to use that here.
No, we have to use entertainment
We only
and
use entertainment, entertainment, entertainment. But yeah, more on a serious note, right? Before we look at the individual players,
I feel is that.
uh, Snaggy's comment: what do you think of SRH versus RR game today? Road or pure batting skill from both sides, or just poor bowling? Do you think the pitch played a big part for 280 and 240? Personally, for me, I think so. I mean, it's just too
It
easy.
is.
Yeah, the pitch played a big part. It was pure, but as expected. SRH has a killer batting lineup. What a brilliant, devastating batting lineup, and every side's fear that. And
Mhm.
that, when I use the word fear, that's what happened to RR today. Even coming onto the pitch, whatever decisions they took and the way they played, and whatever happened, like the miss fields happened, wrong bowling changes, and also at times not bowling to the right area, all these happened because of the way SRH played last year. They have made so many over 200 runs, um, and that was playing in RR's mind,
Mhm.
that we have to be really careful here. And batting, yeah, winning the toss and bowling first, that's one of the, again, like, a really bad decision, like Punk mentioned. You don't put SRH bat first. You
Mhm.
always make them chase, if you're going by the evidence from last year's their performance.
Yeah.
And so it looked like all, they were like, uh, they were not playing fearless cricket. They're feared that, okay, this has, and it was given that this has to be a big score by SRH. That's how they were, RR fielders were fielding, or the bowlers were bowling as well. And
Hmm.
yeah, like I said, yes, of course, the pitch played a massive role, because even RR, you saw 240 they got to,
Hmm.
so definitely that was there. um and Jofra Archer, I don't know, maybe 20 runs per over, close to that he must have been. uh
19. He's
19.
considered 76 of 4 overs.
Yeah, so he's that is a big minus. Maybe it's an injury,
Hmm.
or maybe he does not have skills. The speed does not do everything, especially in IPL. We have
Hmm.
seen that, and also in other games, like there are like other slower bowlers who do have quite a lot of change ups and other skills.
Yeah.
Like the CSK game we saw,
Hmm.
uh, they looked much. Actually, no, in this game itself, you saw, I think, Sandeep Sharma, Tushar Deshpande, they were the bowlers who
Hmm.
were bowling really well, and the batsmen couldn't hit them as much they could hit Jofra Archer.
Yeah.
So clearly, looking at the skill levels here, are you just going? He did bowl slow ups, slower
Hmm.
balls a couple of times, but they were picked up easily by the batsman, and the batsmen were going after him. The moment he was on bowling, um, both Ishan Kishan and they were, and Nitish Reddy,
Ready.
he was trying to, they were trying to hit him, because
Yeah.
he was kind of predictable. The pace was there. uh, Other than the slower change, it was not working for him, so he has to do something. And also, the most frustrating part for RR would be that he is a premier international bowler,
Hmm.
international level bowler, so he has to come good. um, Go back, speak to the coach, do something about it. um, so yeah, that was one of the factors here. But yeah, it looked like RR were kind of in fear
Hmm.
that they will be facing a massive score, and
Yeah.
eventually they did. That's what happened.
Absolutely right. Obviously, looking at the individual performances, right? Travis said, I'd say business as usual. Like, I don't think it matters to him. But for me personally, I think Ishan Kishan, someone who took a break. Obviously, he wasn't picked, retained by BCCI for the central contracts, wasn't playing for India. Then he took a personal leave for whatever personal issues, whether it's stress or whatever that's going on. Didn't play any Ranji games, so pretty much he walked into this just with some training sessions with the SRH camp, and then for him to then come in this new setup and to score a massive 100.
Yeah,
Your thoughts?
it was kind of a point to prove from him, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
possibly.
And
Yeah.
it was evident. The way he celebrated was like, look at me, don't stop me. I'm the guy. I'm the guy. So, um, for Ishan Kishan, I would also say that one thing, that this batting lineup had Abhishek Sharma, Travis Head,
Hmm.
and today he has overcome the image of these two guys. And of course, Nitish Kumar Reddy, Henry Clausen. Um, he was the new guy here in this team,
Hmm.
so he had made his mark. Not that he needed any kind of eclodes, but he has arrived in this team,
Yeah.
in the team where Travis Head and Abhishek Sharma and Klassen
Hmm.
are there.
Dominating. Yeah. Punk, anything you want to add on Ishan Kishan?
Like it's his revenge series, as I've messaged in WhatsApp. So he's come to prove a point here. And the thing is, like, and the first match is like, is overshadowed the big guns or the team. So, that respect also comes in. So
Hmm.
now for him, the season is now much more easier
Yeah.
because now he doesn't have to prove a point that, okay, whenever you like, when you come to a new team, you want to prove that how good are you, right?
Hmm.
Irrespective of whatever the background you have. Yeah,
Hmm.
or the body of work you've done, right? So it's something like when you join a new job, right? You just want to prove you're good for this job. You have the skills. He's proved it, and like I think so. This season might be looking like at least a 500 run season for him now. because that thing has gone away completely now. Right?
Mhm.
Now he'll play like a free mind, And the thing is with SRH, right? The batsman, because your lineup is so strong,
Mhm.
so the first four batsmen can play really freely,
Yeah.
which no other team has that,
Sort of freedom.
freedom. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, your first four batsmen, they don't have to worry about what's going to happen.
Mhm.
But like if you see like CSK or, some other, they have because there's some chinks in the armor in the middle order
Mhm.
here and there. You're not sure whether they, but here you have like a Klassen at 5 and,
Mhm.
like, really, guys really down the order. So,
Mhm.
that there is an opportunity for, the first four batsmen to just go out and like, just go all guns blazing. Yeah. So that's something which will help Nitish. This was not there even in Mumbai Indians when he was playing there, right?
Sure.
This team is going to give him that freedom to go out. So, and he's shown what he was just like non-stop, just gone out. And, like Abhishek, definitely at 24 runs, as I told you, right?
Mhm.
You just need to give you the 20, 30 runs of like, 10, 12 balls and you're set, you know. So, first 4, 5 batsmen can give you 30, 40 runs. You're somewhere around 180. You see, and one guy has to score 50, 60, then you're 200 close. But the 200 strike rate. So this is what SRH is doing. 200 strike rate is your minimum, which is like 240. So if they achieve that target on this pitch,
Mhm.
uh, it's going to be like they will win more matches than lose. But the other thing is the opponents also can hit because of the flat deck,
Yeah.
right? And this you have to have really good skill sets. Good mistress spinners, which they are lacking
Mhm.
as such, and on the other side also they were lacking that. So that's the thing. But yeah, I'm happy for Ishan, right? He's come back. He was supposed to keep playing the T20, but whatever happened,
Mhm.
he took some rest and all that, right? Maybe some fatigue, and then he was dropped out.
Yeah.
His comeback is shown, and like as a celebration definitely
Mhm.
showed, so it is good.
Absolutely. Obviously, from a Rajasthan standpoint, they had a massive target to sort of chase. Sanju Samson, who came in as an impact, as we know, the first few matches he's purely playing as a batter, so he came in as a impact substitute. 66 of 37 deliveries, 7 4s, 4 6s, and then the partnership with Dhruv Jurel, 70 of 35 deliveries, 5 4s, 6 6s. Contributions from Hetmar, 42 of 23, and Shubham Dubey, 34 of 11, which sort of pushed them to the 240 mark. But yeah, especially the partnership between Sanju Samson and Dhruv Jurel, I think they sort of kept them in the game until almost
Yeah,
the 14th, 15th over.
yeah. But and give an opportunity to come very close, right? But still, Sanju Samson should have like gone more. He if you're that like if you've scored 25 balls
Mhm.
and you have the minimum strike rate has to be 220 to
Mhm.
win, right? And if you are there and if you like you have to go more hard on, right?
Mhm.
Because if you want to win the game, and that's where the 170 strike rate, if you see the gap, if you calculate that 30 runs is the
Mhm.
gap between this thing, and they lost by 40 odd runs. So I'm just
Yeah.
telling you where yeah, people will say that if it was not for him, then they wouldn't have reached there, right?
Mhm.
But this is what KL Rahul does, and why they lose more games, because he might score you those runs, but the strike rate when the team needs you to go at that strike rate, you are actually below it, right? So there's additional pressure on the other players to come along and
Mhm.
hit. So this is something which, if you're scoring that run, you have to go all guns blazing, right? And this I want to point out, like maybe we have very few minutes before we close this. So
Mhm.
there's one thing with Parag, right? This is something which, as a captain, right? He was chasing the ball.
Mhm.
So, this is something which I saw, like, wherever the ball was, he's sending the fielders. And you just see the opponent captain, naturally, Pat Cummins, World Cup winner. He was relaxed, you know, because you will want to, in the bowlers, like, bowling machines, right? There might be an opportunity, like, one or two balls will, like, will go in, the line and length might be different. But
Mhm.
the rest of the four balls, they will bowl that, field settings. Now, suppose you're a bowler, right? Every other ball you're changing your field, and the bowler gets confused. Where I need to bowl? My line has to go on the leg or my line has to go on the off. Parag did that, and it was like, I'm gonna say crazy. That was one of the like worst captaincy I've seen. The way he came to bat, first
Mhm.
ball hit, and the second ball you see, I don't know what
He's
shot it
moving his
was.
fielders around. Yeah. Mhm.
Right. It's
Yeah.
stupid, man. Like, that was like there was no thought process of the entire thing, They were
Mhm.
lucky that, they went to 240, or they would have gone all out for 150. Like, this was like pathetic
Absolutely.
in terms of RR. They were not on the field. They were mentally retired like in the first 2 overs only itself.
Yeah.
That you could see, like they were like completely back. There was no, and this is where a good captain comes in, right? Which you Rajat Patidar, right? Now I'm calling the OG of captains, right?
Mhm.
But when KKR was going on, he got the good bowlers, the field setting, because there was a Kohli there.
Mhm.
You see, and Kohli is one guy. He will come and he'll guide you and all that, right? And that helps, right? In RR, you don't have a senior player to support a young captain, and Sanju definitely, you know, he might be he's captaining RR, but he's not a great captain, like frankly speaking, yeah. In terms of how, because what RR has performed till last 3-4 seasons, I'm
Mhm.
just talking about on that basis. And then there's no senior member, who actually is a captain material, who's international captain, who can come and guide these guys, right?
Mhm.
And that's why you see the field setting, the bowling, everything was like, all around like wavered completely. So yeah, something for RR to learn,
Mhm.
and they have to, like, see what they can do about it, because the next 2-3 games, if they do the same thing, ball chasing, it feels like a Lagan team, where the ball goes, everybody running towards the ball. And the fielding, like, trying to catch the ball like this. So, I
I'm
hope.
sure it's not that bad,
Lagan Royals.
but yes.
You mean Lagan Royals?
But yeah, I think obviously, in a fair play to Rian, right? Obviously, his first game, like in a big occasion. I'm sure there's some nerves there, and obviously his
Yeah,
bowling did help him as well. Like Faruqi struggled, Archer struggled, Tikshana struggled, so he sort of lost control on his team today. But like you said, first game of the season, there's a
yeah,
bunch of new players coming in, so they're all sort of gelling in still, like trying to understand, their best playing 11 possibly. So but yeah, a good fight. But SRH, like I said, they start off with the season like we sort of all anticipated. So kudos to them.
yeah. We had accepted that, like, minimum to 40 was a
Yep.
score, right? So they surpassed by 40 runs.
Yep. Absolutely. But yeah, we wish obviously RR good luck in their upcoming games, and
Yeah,
vice versa SRH to sort of continue what they do. On that note, I think we might or we will conclude this session. But yeah, like we always say, viewers, subscribers, whoever they are, always feel free to share your feedback, comments, anything that it's
it's-
always welcome. And obviously any particular feedback you have for Punk, I'll share his mobile number on this comments chat. Feel free to WhatsApp him.
all the Rajasthan Royals fans will, like,
Yes.
pissed off. But yeah, that's what I see, So I'm just
All
saying,
the RR
don't ball
fans and
chase,
everyone from Assam, Punk is a guy. On that note,
Yeah,
thank you, gents. It's only game 2 of IPL, but we'll come back with another episode of podcast while we cover the game between CSK and MI shortly. Thank you.
yeah,
Thank
man.
you.
Cheers. Bye.